my scrappy life and welcome back to my channel. This is a process video for a couple of things. First and foremost, this is my second layout for the guest designer of Mercy Tiara Kits, the Brighter Day collection that was released in June. I am going to be using her kit that she created, and I went and did a bunch of fussy cutting off of one of it so I can get more embellishments. And then I am also pairing this with Off the Board with Pineapple Papers, where we pick something off of our boards from Pinterest and we create it. This layout is from Rebecca Moore. She was a sparkler part of Spiegel Mom Scraps, where she uses sequins. And I know that she used a Vicky Bouton collection where she did a bunch of circles on the layout, and I'll show it right up here in the corner. I am going to be doing squares. So that is what you see over here of the same thing that I cut out. My photo is square, and I am going to place it. I'm going to do some mixed media and all that stuff behind it before I go. That's why you see all the little numbers, because I have a photo of where all of these little, things were supposed to go. In that regards. So that is that. And then I am pairing this up with the summer series, where we are supposed to stash dive into using something or another. And so because we're doing Off the Board, I am putting it all together and placing it where I am going to be mixing multiple brands. I am doing that stash bash that's on my Pinterest boards. So I'm really going to, the only thing new that I'm using is the kit for Mercy Tiara, and I want you to make sure you check that down below. So let's see what I can do. Okay, I'm going to start out with using my 12x12 stencil that it came from Close to My Heart a while ago. That is a honeycomb selection. And what I am doing is that I'm going tone on tone. The top part of my mixture that I'm using is what is called Quiche Flamingo. I think, let me see. Yeah, Quiche Flamingo, and that is the top part. And then the bottom part that I use is mustard seed. Then I go with my Crafter's Workshop star stencil that you see there and go in the spots that I did not do the honeycomb, and I flip the colors around. So the yellow is now on top and the pink was on the bottom. And I left some of the spots emptied because I knew that that's where my photos or the little square pieces that I'm going with. As you can see up in the right-hand corner, Rebecca Moore went with a ton of circles. And I know what vellum paper she used to cut out all those circles. So off camera, before I even started this layout, I did go in and do all of my different cutting and kind of placed them around. And I drew the numbers with the little die cut piece. So then when I get to the point of putting them down onto my sheet, I knew exactly, when I pulled that picture up, I knew exactly which one needed to go where, because I used the die piece and I numbered the pieces on my layout. Because you cover them up, you're not going to see them. So that is why you're seeing me kind of like maneuver some of them around, because I had to figure out, like you can see that I will have like a couple of them mixed up. I needed to swap them around like that because I had to look at like what they look like and how they looked. And so all of the ones that are not touched by my photo, and in the middle is where my photo is going, they're all going to get popped up with some foam tape of some sort. And then the bottom two where my photo's at is going to stay flat. Now, I'm sorry for the glare with this gold ephemera, or this piece of paper I'm using, and I've put and cut all of them into my ephemera. It's got this gold shiny film to it, and my camera does not like it. So I am super sorry about that. It is, sometimes when you get to using some of these, it kind of, hate to say it, it is what it is, and drives me nutty, but it's okay. So I am placing the photo. I wanted to make sure that I placed them out far enough so that you still saw them, because I know in the back of my mind I am going to be putting layering pieces behind my photo. So that makes the reason why I pulled them out further, because once I get my photo put back on, you won't even notice it. And then you won't notice that like dead spot in the middle that says the word photo. Now, with all of this, make sure that you go check out everything that's listed down below. I have so much that's going on with this layout. But the most important thing is I want to say thank you to Mercy Tierra or Tracy Banks, allowing me to be one of their guest designers for the June collection, which is the Brighter's Day collection. It is still available on her shop. Make sure you go check out her shop. It's all linked down below. And then also make sure that you check around the 15th, because the 15th of every month or around that date is when the new one is being released. And I cannot wait to see what that release is, because, oh my gosh, it's going to be, super exciting. So this P, I don't like this P, the way they made it. It doesn't look right. So I cut off all that loopy-loop stuff, and then I make it a longer P, and you can't even tell I did it. It's fine by me. I don't need the little line on the bottom. It's good. So my title is going to be My Happy Place. I do play around with the title a little bit because it's driving me nutty. Like this area up top is like really driving me nutty because they made the Y's a little bit bigger than everything else, but that's okay. So there's my title, My Happy Place, and then everything else is going to follow into place. Now, I take each of the squares as embellishment like city, so that one, I don't cover up my mixed media, which, you know me, I don't mind covering up my mixed media if I have to. But if you are wanting to follow something like this and not do so much mixed media, then put your embellishment on top and around your base piece. So my base piece is these squares, and I just based things off of the square and made it either backed up with some foam or, tucked underneath. And then I used all of the fussy cutting that I did with that paper that you see that I've cut out. I bring those back in and I make them work as well. Now, I'm just kind of playing around with, like, when I see something that works for a square, or I think it does, I play with it and then I kind of move on to the next square. The one thing that I didn't use as much, and I wish I could have, but because I had to use the squares, is the ephemera pack from Simple Stories. A lot of it is the journaling tabs, and unfortunately I really don't need journaling, so that's why I went out and fussy cut that paper, the other 6.5 or the 6x12 side of that paper, and fussy cut, so I had some type of embellishment. And that is one thing that if you feel that you don't have enough, look at the papers that you get in the kit and see if you can fussy cut. I know that that is a lot of people's worst enemy or the nemesis, but for me, it is very enthusing to just turn on some YouTube, follow a YouTube subscriber, Netflix or something, and just fussy cut watching, their process videos or whatever, because I will tell you that all of a sudden I was done with this and I didn't even realize I was done. So that's just me. But that helps get more embellishments, that if you're not quite sure how to make something work, that's how I do it. So then I wanted to get this sticker because since I had the sticker on top and the sticker on the bottom, I wanted to make sure that they were both down there below somewhere. And so that's why I tucked into one. And I didn't mind if I covered up a lot of the a lot of the squares, because, that was my focal point. Lastly, here I am adding in my black little dots that I like with Spot of Color, or a Pop of Color, which is just black. And then that is it. The still shots are coming up. Make sure that you check out everything that's linked down below. There's a lot. Also, make sure that you like and subscribe to my channel if you are new, coming from any of the other ones. I do upload between 2 to 3 times a week, collaborations, design teams, all of the fun stuff. The still shots are coming up. Make sure that you have a wonderful day, and I hope to talk to you soon. Bye.